Yeah, hi there, and these comments, I'm going to just use your initials, JH. So, you say, I'm writing to you to get some information about your methods and preparation students for TOEFL exam. I saw some videos on how you help students with writing. I can also imagine how you help them with speaking and listening, but for me, the most difficult section is reading. I took the TOEFL twice, and the reading section is the only barrier for me to pass this exam. Therefore, I probably decided I need some feedback. I'm thinking to take some courses of English or find some online teacher like you. Do you have a special approach for reading? I cannot imagine how it is possible to teach reading online. I think I have a problem with timing and inferring information from the text. I'm generally able to understand reading passages in English. I have written my thesis, which was based on articles written in English, but that's not exactly the same thing, JH. When you're reading for leisurely and you're reading in your own time, you're not worrying about that clock. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different when you take the TOEFL test. So you can't imagine how I teach reading online, so can you imagine this? There are 5 specific things that you need to do in order to improve your reading. The 5 suggestions I'm going to give you, one of my students used these suggestions a few months ago. He went from 16 points out of 30 to 23 points out of 30 in about 2 months. Now, be careful. I'm not saying that you will get exactly the same results. I'm not saying that. Everybody is different. We don't all learn at the same rate. But nevertheless, the 5 tips I'm going to give you right now, they will help you to read more proficiently and ultimately to improve your reading score for the TOEFL IBT exam. You ready? Now, some of my suggestions have absolutely nothing to do with my online course, but everything to do with your own study habits. Keep that in mind. Number 1, before you do anything, JH, you need to sit down and read every day for about 45 minutes. I've had a lot of students tell me, why did you pick the number 45? I've done a lot of research, and it appears that if you're reading for almost an hour, that gives the brain just enough time to really start taking in the information and understanding, and it really helps your reading proficiency. Now, if you read more than an hour, it's probably better to take a break and then sit down and read again for another period of time. Number 1, though, you need to start reading every day. My philosophy is read things that you actually have an interest in, and it's going to help you. So the main thing here is you can read magazines, newspapers, and books, topics of which you have an interest. That's number 1. Start doing this every day for several months. That's probably the number 1 thing that's going to make the biggest difference in your reading abilities, is to just start reading. Number 2, you should improve your vocabulary. Obviously, the better your vocabulary, the better you'll be able to concentrate on reading, so you need to improve your vocabulary. It's very important. You should get a vocabulary list, start learning the words in the list, and go from there. Number 3, a lot of people don't pay attention to my 3rd suggestion, but you should. You need to improve your reading speed. This is very, very important. You need to get your reading speed to about 300 to 350 words per minute. And what happens is it makes it easier for you to concentrate and to comprehend what you're reading. This is going to sound crazy to you, but this is true. Faster readers have better comprehension than slower readers. Now, of course, JH, you can't improve your reading speed from 110 words per minute to 300 words per minute in 1 or 2 days. It takes time. Now, number 4. So in addition to my first 3 suggestions, now you need to get into some TOEFL type reading practice. So my 4th suggestion is you should become familiar with the IBT reading question types and the strategies for answering them. That's number 4. Number 5, is you need to take TOEFL level reading practice tests so you can track your progress. If you have a TOEFL book, you can do this. If you're using Cambridge or Barron's or any of those kinds of books, the Princeton Guide to TOEFL Preparation, whatever, if you're using a TOEFL preparation book, it does have a reading section. It has reading practice tests. You should take those. That's good. So if you can do those 5 things, and guess what? The first 3 are the most important, really. So you want to do that reading every day, studying vocabulary, increasing your reading speed, then becoming familiar with the reading question types and strategies, and also taking full-length practice tests. That will definitely help you improve your reading. That is how I teach reading online. See what I'm saying? Now, how can I help you? My online TOEFL course has a good vocabulary section. Vocabulary lesson number 3, lesson number 4, number 5, and number 6. These 4 lessons will help you master 1,700 college level words. Secondly, in the reading section of my website, JH, I have over 70 speed reading tests designed to help you improve your reading speed from 100 to 350 words per minute. Each speed reading test, the first one starts at 100 words a minute, the next one is 105 words per minute, 110, 115, 120, and so on until all the way to 350. So you gradually, using my course, JH, you gradually improve your reading speed 5 words at a time. So it's slow, it's a slow process, but you can do it. Now my website also has, I have the TOEFL IBT question types. For example, you talked about the information question. You have the main idea questions. You have completing charts, completing tables. I have all of those different kinds of questions. I have videos that show you how to answer all those kinds of questions. So you can also get some tips from my reading section by doing that. Now also in the 8th section of my course, I have 2 things. I have full-length IBT practice tests. Now these are an additional cost for you. Remember, the subscription to my website is a minimal cost. But if you want to take a full-length IBT practice test, or you want to take a section-specific reading, listening, speaking, or writing practice test, and you want to simulate TOEFL conditions, it does cost a little bit of extra money to do those, but not much. It'll be worth it for you. So that's it. That is how you improve your reading score. My best guess is it doesn't happen overnight. You're probably looking at about 3 months. If you can follow my suggestions for about 3 months, if you can increase your vocabulary by 1,700 words, that's a great start. If you keep reading every day for 45 minutes, you get your reading speed up to 300, you will be very close, if not better than what you need to reach your subtotal in the reading section. So my goal is to help you get maybe between 22 and 30 points on the reading section. That's what I would like to do with you. All right? Anyway, thank you very much. If you have any other questions, just email me and I will answer your questions.